Hello folks, welcome back to Vintage CB Radio at its best. Had a gentleman that inquired in my last video about wiring a microphone for a tube type B&K Cobra Cam 88. This is basically the same type of microphone plug. If you look on the inside, let me get to where I can see the numbers. Each leg is numbered. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is one of those mic plugs, along with some of the others. The wires, as you can see, they go up inside of the plug itself, and they're soldered. You have to unsolder them through this pin. You have to heat this pin up. I'll try to get one of them out. When you wire one of these up, and it's not only these, the Browning, like the Mark IIs, see, they have the same type plug, and they're soldered in the same way. They also have numbers in them. You can't see this one, but I think this one is 1 and 2 or L and something. I really couldn't read it. I've got old eyes, okay? But back to this. If you look, this is actually the wiring for that radio. Pin 1 is going to be your audio, which is typically the white wire, unless somebody has changed the cord on it and used a yellow wire for the audio wire. 2 is going to be your shield, which is the piece of wire that doesn't have a outside coating on it. 3 is red, 4 is black. Now, that depends on what type of microphone you're using. Just about any mic will wire to this configuration. And by the way, most Cobras, even the old, the ones that I've run into at least, even the old ones have the same mic wiring pin out. White, shield, red, and black. However, the Turner microphones, what you'll find on those, if you're having trouble, there's 2 things. Not only on the Turner microphones, it's also on static. If you wire it up like this and it won't key up, most of these microphones have a switch. See the switch? It says electronic and relay. If it's an old tube type radio that has a set of relays in it and has positive voltage on this transmit wire, you're going to have to flip that switch to whichever position that it needs to go in. And without trying to explain it all and making it confusing, if you wire it and you're sure that you have it wired right, just flip that mic. Even the static D104s, all the old ones have a switch in the bottom that's got E and R. That's electronic and relay. The newer ones, most of the newer ones don't have it. A lot of those have 6 wires instead of 4. But what I was going to mention, this red and this black wire, for this Turner microphone, any Turner microphone, you have to swap those 2 wires, because the Turner microphone actually transmits through the black wire. Especially if you have a radio that requires the mic to have receive. If you don't, like the Brownings, you only need 2 pins. And while I'm on that subject, the Brownings, this spring, you've got a red and a white. Red's your transmit, and white is your audio. The shield actually solders to this spring on the inside. If you don't have that shield soldered to that spring, and you're sitting there with a D104 in your hand, and you reach over there and touch that radio, you're going to realize that you've done something wrong, because you're going to get about 200 volts on the hand you got on the microphone and the one you got on the radio. So just a tip on that. Most all these radios pre-70s have positive DC voltage on the red wire that comes out of the mic jack on them. So just beware of that. But if you're gonna wire one of these old plugs that requires this, you're gonna have to either have a set of these helping hands, or you're gonna have to have somebody that'll help you, that'll help you hold it, because obviously it's hard to get a hold of that. And what you have to do, you have to get a hold of that wire and heat this pin. If I can hold the soldering gun to it with these old shaky hands, and see, it'll just pop right out. When you get ready to put that, to wire your mic to it, you're going to have to do the same thing. And a little word of advice: when you strip that shield back, this black shield, leave you plenty of room to work these wires in and out of this plug, because you can see how far that one is stripped back. You're going to need it like that, because it's got to go all the way to the end in order to get soldered, in order for that solder to make good contact. If you don't, you put it in there, you can't tell unless you physically tug on it a little bit. And if you have them long like this, you can put them in there one at a time. It's impossible to put all of them in there, to just strip all the wires and stick them up in the bottom of this mic plug and solder them with them all in there. You just about have to get a good connection on them, you just about have to do them individually. So I hope this helps the gentleman that was having trouble. First and foremost, if you're having trouble, check two things. It depends on the mic that you're using. If it's a Turner microphone, try changing your black and your red, and check the electronic and relay switch on the bottom of it. But again, for a Cobra Cam 88, it's 1 white, 2 shield, 3 red, and 5 black, or 4 black. That's white, that's audio, shield, transmit, and your receive, which I'm pretty sure a Cobra 88 has receive without a mic in it. You wouldn't even need the black wire, but it's up to you where you want to put it in there or not. Some folks that I know of, and I'm sure that's probably happened to this, they'll plug that in the radio and they'll strip the end of these wires, and they'll take the wire off the microphone and they'll just twist it to test it until they get the right wire in order. That's fine. But remember, some of these old radios have voltage coming back out. If you've got a hold of that wire, holding it, and you squeeze that push to talk button or that key bar, it's going to bite you, and it's going to bite you pretty hard. Anyway, I hope this helps. Hope it helps someone. Here's another one of those bastard plugs that I hate. This is for a tram, any type tram. The 4-pin. It doesn't have any valleys, as you can see. Get the camera to focus on it. You just have to solder the wire. It's got holes in the end of it, but in that era, they didn't make a microphone that had a wire that small to put in there. So basically, you just have to solder it to the outside of the pin, and it's cumbersome to get it to work. Okay, it's aggravating, especially when you have low patience like I have. Sometimes I try to be patient, but sometimes it's tough. I just have to walk away. I like working on microphones to a point. I've started making some microphones, and I had to quit on them because I got frustrated and got discouraged on them. There'll be a day here soon that I start back on them, and I'll get it whipped. But that's a story for another day. Got a video coming up this afternoon, probably on a Tram Titan. Good looking radio. I'll leave it to the video to let you see what folks have done to this radio. But pass the word around. I don't mind giving y'all tips. Not at all. As you can see, I've got I have a adapter cord made for those Brownings that I got the other day. I went ahead and made me one. I can use any 4-pin mic that I have that's wired in that configuration. I can just plug it into that Browning, except for a mixer or a echo mic, which I think it's kind of sinful to put an echo mic on an old tube type radio. That's just me though. It's my personal preference, even though I do run one on my tram sometimes, my Detour 1A. Good evening from Vintage CB Radio at its best. Hope this helps you out. Like and subscribe. Shoe shine, boy. We're gone.